Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about what should the Stalwarts be asking the new guard for, okay? When it comes to Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition design. All right, so right now, I am haunted by the rise of, I'm really haunted by the rise of post-alignment Dungeons & Dragons, right? So we're not there. Alignment's firmly in the game still, but the design team is desperately trying to yank root and stem out of Dungeons & Dragons. And I do not like the rise of post-alignment Dungeons & Dragons. So I'm a stalwart. What I want is I want Gary Gygax to be honored as the game is moving forward. I want the game to move forward. I don't want things to remain the same. I want things to change in a way that is innovative and fun and winsome and healthy for the game. Okay, so I do want changes in Dungeons & Dragons. But when those changes happen, I want Gary Gygax to be honored. Okay, but what is it fair for stalwarts like myself? And by the way, I'm using the term stalwart because I think the word grognard is not useful anymore, right? Because I think stalwarts are people who want Gary Gygax to be honored, but not people who are high. What do grognards want that stalwarts don't? Oh, gatekeeping. I don't want to gatekeep, right? I don't want to make sure that minorities are kept out of the game, that different genders are kept out of the game, or orientations are kept out of the game. And I'm not sure we could say that about grognards, right? Like grognards are like, oh, I don't like XYZ, right? So I think stalwarts is like I think grognards want Gary Gygax to be honored, but they also are bringing a lot of like, we don't want X people in the game, which I'm not down with that, right? Like, I want Gary Gygax honored, but I want everybody in the game. Okay, so that's why I use the term stalwart. The new guard are the people who control D&D right now, and I would say the new guard are people who support this idea of post-alignment D&D, of taking alignment out of the Dungeons & Dragons. And it's not just alignment. It's also going to be clerics and paladins. People of faith are going to be taken out. Like, it's a whole list, right? And so, I don't want that, right? So, but what is it fair for a stalwart to ask of the new guard? Well, I saw something recently, and it perfectly illustrated what I don't want and what I do want. Okay, so I watched Red Dawn, and I think it came out in 1980. I think it's 1983. So Red Dawn 1983, and then there's Red Dawn 2013. Okay, the years might be a little off on those, but the decades definitely aren't. Right. So same movie, Red Dawn 1983, Red Dawn 2013. Right? So what do you get when you put these two movies together, right? Or like, one's a remake of the other, right? Well, in there's this scene, it's called the Stag Heartblood drink, right? So basically, these, good old American boys who are going to defend the country, in 1983, they have this scene where one of the boys, who's going to defend the country, kills a stag, right? And two of the other boys take a cup, fill that cup with the stag's heart blood, warm heart blood, and say, you got to drink that, right? And so the young soldier drinks that, or young rebel, he's not really a soldier, he's rebelling against the Russians invading America in 1983 movie. He drinks it, and he's like, and the two of them look at, the two boys who would, young men, that's a better way to say it, young men, two young men who helped this first time hunter, right? They said, hey, our dad did this with us, and he said you will never be the same after drinking that blood, right? And they were saying, hey, you just took a life, right? And you're different now, right? Same exact scene in 2013. Chris Hemsworth plays the Patrick Swayze part, and then and the two supporting young men, they do the same thing. They're like, here's the heart blood, drink it up, right? And the young hunter says, oh, I drank it, what's gonna happen to me now? And they're like, you idiot, you shouldn't have drunk that. Our dad never did that with us. You're the only one to have drunk stag heart blood. Oh, right? And I was like, what? So here's what I'm saying, right? Okay, if you control Dungeons & Dragons, this is what the Stalwarts are asking. we understand that you can't put everything in to 5e that you put into 1e. We understand there needs to be changes. You could leave stuff out, okay? If you're the new guard, you could leave stuff out. You could change. You could leave stuff in and honor it. We definitely want that, right? But we know you can't do that for everything. So then you're also free to leave stuff out. You're also free to change it, right? Like, let's say there were, to change the thing. But what you can't do is you can't mock it. You can't mock the origins in the thing you're rebuilding. That is not allowed. And that's what the Stalwarts are asking you for. We're not asking you to keep everything the same and change nothing. We're saying don't actively mock the source of what you're building, in the thing you're building. And that was wrong in the 2013 movie to mock and pretend that, drinking the stag's blood was something to be mocked and was silly and frivolous. That should have never been in the 2013 movie. And it said that the people who were remaking Red Dawn neither loved it nor understood it. And that's what we're saying. We're saying, the Stalwarts are saying, love the thing you're remaking, understand it, and honor it where you can. Feel free to take stuff out. Feel free to change things, but don't mock what you're creating in the thing you're creating. Don't do it, right? That's our request. And all that's my opinion. What do you think? Do you think that's a fair request from the Stalwarts to the new guard? How do we make peace between the two of us, between the two groups? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.